Ordering the easy level system is very simple. Let me show you. What you're looking at here is a single leveler. You have the housing, inside is the cam, and you have the adjusting rod. As the adjusting rod screws in, it pushes down the cam, which causes the lift on your cabinets. Now, although we do sell the easy levels in singles, as you're looking at, primarily the easy levels are sold in sets because you need a front and a rear. You can see the rear leveler here. Now, to reach the rear leveler, we have an adjusting rod that slides right through the front leveler, and just like the front, as it adjusts, it too pushes down the cam and causes lift. Now, if you have a cabinet, you obviously need a set of levelers on the left, and you're also going to need a set of levelers on the right-hand side as well. So, if you have two independent cabinets, you would need 4 sets of levelers. However, if those two cabinets are going to be screwed together in a cabinet run, you will not need both sets of levelers here. The one would just be redundant. So let's go back over to the How to Order page, and here we are. Here's a set of levelers as we talked about before: front leveler, rear leveler, and the extension rod. And just as we did before, you can see here's a cabinet with a set of levelers here and a set of levelers here. And just as we talked about earlier, if you have a couple of cabinets screwed together, instead of needing 4 sets, you'll need a set here, here, and here. You always share one at the seam on a cabinet run. Now, what size do you need? Very simple. We only sell 4 sizes of levelers. One is an Easy 24, and that's for all kitchen cabinets, 24 inches deep. Easy 21s are for most vanities, because most vanities are 21 inches deep. We also have the Easy 18s because some of the older vanities are still out there. They're only 18 inches deep. They're rare, but they still exist. And then finally, we sell the Easy Level Single that we talked about earlier. Singles are for cabinets that are 15 inches or less in depth, like some 12-inch cabinets on the back of an island or something like that. We used to use a set of levelers for these. It had a front and a rear, just like all the others do, but we found the rear leveler to be redundant on cabinets that are 15 inches or less. Now, here's the most important thing. Don't measure the toe kick recess and try to figure that out. We've done all that measuring for you. So the Easy 24s are for kitchen cabinets 24 inches deep. They'll actually measure, as it says down here, they actually measure 18 inches deep because of the toe kick recess. So we've done all that for you. So if you're putting in kitchen cabinets, that's what you need. Now, let's look at the floor plans. This is how you should mark for the Easy Level system. Now in this example here, we drew the levelers in so that you could see where they go in conjunction with our arrows. If you have an independent cabinet, you need 2 sets of levelers. Sink bases, here's something you need to know. You always want to put in sink bases independent of all the other cabinets. Why? Because you got plumbing to deal with. So you want to put all your cabinets in, especially the corner cabinets, and measure off of those to get your measurements for your plumbing lines. And because of the plumbing lines, it's the last cabinet you put in because you want to level it up and slide it over the plumbing lines gently, and you don't want a whole bunch of cabinets tied to that. So keep that independent. Cabinet runs, as we already talked about, a couple of cabinets here would have 3 sets of levelers. If you had 3 cabinets in a run, you need 4, and so forth. You can put as many as you can handle safely together and share levelers at all those seams. Now, if you've got a filler or a turning in between 2 cabinets, you need to treat the 2 cabinets as independent. That's because this seam isn't going to be really strong enough, so you want to keep the 2 cabinets independent. This diagram here shows a cabinet run here, and then this cabinet's got to be considered independent because you can't screw the 2 backs together. Now, if you have cabinet runs that are different depths, like say a kitchen cabinet here and maybe a 21-inch vanity here and here, you always want to install the levelers on the largest side of the seam. For instance, we'd put a couple of Easy 24s here, and then you can put your Easy 21s on the end for the 2 vanity cabinets, and of course, fasten those together as usual. Triangle bases, the only thing that you need to know about that is on this far end here, you're going to want to put a single here. Same thing for trapezoids. If you have a trapezoid, put a single unit right here, and of course you're sharing a Easy 24 right here. Here's a sample floor plan. You can see we got 2 sets of levelers here and here. Got a cabinet run here, which will have 3 sets of levelers. A cabinet run here, which will have the 3 sets, plus you need a single for the other side of that trapezoid. Here we have Lazy Susan, and we also have a blind base. And you'll notice that we marked the Lazy Susan just like any other cabinet in this run. That's because you have 2 load-bearing sides, one here and one here. Now for the back side, here's what we recommend. Go ahead and laser level everything, take a 1x4, drop it down behind the Lazy Susan till it touches the floor, cut off the excess, and screw it in the back. That gives you a very strong foot that'll be there forever. And for blind base, same thing goes here. The only thing that's unique about the blind base is you got to remember to go ahead and laser level this first, then put your stove in, or if you've got another cabinet over here, you would have to put that cabinet in after you level this up. That's because you got to reach that back leveler over there. In panels, it doesn't matter whether tall or short, they're all the same. You either have in panels with a recessed toe kick or flush toe going all the way to the floor. This is what's most common. Unless you order them specifically like this, they're going to come like this. One set of levelers for your typical panels. If they are flush toes, because you have no way of drilling a hole here with, you don't want to see the hole, put two singles in, face them inward toward one another. And just like we did the blind base, you're going to level those up and then put your dishwasher in or your refrigerator or whatever goes there. Now, the only other thing I want to mention is there are panels that are only 3/4 of an inch thick, like this right here, and maybe they don't have the filler along the front. Most do, but some don't. And if that's the case, you won't be able to use a set of levelers on this panel, because if you push your dishwasher in, they're going to run into the easy levels. These fillers actually give room for the leveling systems. So here's what you want to do. If you run into a situation like that, you want to steal a set of levelers from one of your other cabinets temporarily. And the cabinet that you want to choose is any independent cabinet that's all by itself in the kitchen, because you can level that up last. It's not going to hold any of the other cabinet runs in place. So find that one independent cabinet. Every kitchen's got one. Steal a set of levelers from it temporarily. Mount it on here with maybe one screw in each one, and use them as little jacks to get this set in place. Once it's in place, then you use your 1x4s and get it tied into your wall like you normally would. Build whatever you need underneath it for support, and then take this set of levelers off, put it back on that independent cabinet, and then you're good to go. And finally, let us help you. Laying out the easy level system is super easy, but if you have any questions whatsoever, here's our fax number right here. It's all over our website in the About Us section, or you can email your plans to us and we're happy to do it for you. I do suggest that you go ahead and go through this exercise and just go ahead and lay them out yourself, but then fax it over to us and we'll look over your shoulder, make sure you did it right. But that way you're kind of familiar with the system. Once everything comes in, you'll know exactly where everything goes. It's just a better way of doing it. So thank you very much. Appreciate you choosing the easy level system. God bless you and happy installing.